When was the last time that you actually read the terms and conditions before going to the next step? When was the last time you questioned whether your private information is going to be shared with anyone? And when was the last time you even questioned if your private information is being used against you? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alireza, and I'm extremely honored to be here. Today's topic is about a very critical, significant danger that it is happening in society and is affecting our lives, but unfortunately, it's not being much trending. And I will tell you why later on. So, how much marketers are influencing our very personal lives? How much do they know about our personal lives? And how much do they have the power to manipulate and change our behaviors? Can I know by raise of hand if you have ever thought that the advertisers and the marketers are actually listening to your microphone? For the record, this is almost every single person in this conference room. So why is this the case? And why is this the matter for our generation? Before answering that question, I'm going to give you an insight about data. So what do we know about data? Data is currently the most valuable asset in the world. It's currently more valuable than oil, more valuable than gold, more valuable than diamond, and by far more valuable than any currency. The richest companies in the world are some technology companies that they know how to use this data effectively and efficiently. And without the data, they can't really operate. So in order to understand if marketers can really listen to your microphone, and if they are really listening to your microphone, we have to divide it into two different sides. There's a technical side and there's a legal side, which we are going to understand. So for easing up the whole process and making it more tangible for every single one, I have chosen an example. I have chosen Facebook as an example because most likely you have either Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Messenger, or perhaps all of them. You're aware with the advertisements you get from a company like Facebook. So, for a company like Facebook, is it technically possible for them to listen to your microphone? Of course it is. All they need is some strong processing powers to detect what you're saying and record it and then understand it, which is really easy for them. And would it be useful? Of course it would be useful. Why? Because they're not only going to listen to what you're talking about, they will see the emotions attached to what you're talking about. In other words, they're not going to see only what you're saying, they also understand how you're saying. So if five of you this morning were talking about coronavirus, they could understand one of you is just making jokes about it, three of you are just absolutely panicking to death about it, and one of you are in between. So therefore, based on the way you're talking about it, they can detect what you are saying. And because they have your self-demographics, they have your geolocation, and they have the information about you, they can most likely detect who is speaking. So this information will be beneficial for them. And there's a legal side. So Facebook has clearly mentioned this in many different places, in different conference rooms and in different exhibitions. Even in the courts, the CEO, Mr. Mark Zuckerberg, has told that they do not use the microphone. So why is it that pretty much every single person thinks they are listening to your microphone? The truth is, they don't listen to your microphone. The truth is, they know so much about you already, and they are accurately predicting your decisions, your interests, your behaviors. Okay? So let's take a look what they already have from you. They have your self-demographics. They know your name, your date of birth, the country you were born in, the college you went to. They know your pictures, and therefore they know your looks. They know your friends and your family. They also know your best friends, right? When you go on your Instagram, they bring the feed according to the people that you have the most interactions with. So, again, you have many information out there that you might not even realize you are giving it to them. They have your browsing habits. Based on the browsing habits, they know what you're going to like. So My Explorer would be so different to my mother's. My mother's going to be all about cookings and makeups. Mine is all about entrepreneurship and football. Okay? They know your browsing habits and they know your search history. Based on the search history and your browsing habits, they know your sexual orientation. They know what team you support. They know what is your religion. They know what sort of vision you have towards politics. And they can also predict what sort of things you are thinking about different dilemmas. So all these three are the things that Facebook is collecting directly. And there are some stuff that they collected indirectly. So cookies and pixels, most likely you know about them. And there are thousands and thousands of websites using it in order to provide remarketing. Remarketing is when you check a website and then you go in another website or you go in a different media or device and you see their ads because you simply went to the website. So I'm going to tell you one thing very short and quickly. Facebook doesn't need to listen to your microphone. They don't need to. So they know. It's not that they don't have enough information. They do. That's why they don't need to listen to your microphone. I'll tell you how it works. Let's say this morning you were telling your friends in the library that, okay, I am panicking about coronavirus and I'm no longer going to study in this library. I'm going to search for some meeting rooms, private meeting rooms in a hotel, and I'm going to go study there. And then you search for meeting rooms around me, and then you click on the first link. There's a cookies coming up, you just ignore it, you press OK, and then after 2 minutes you say, okay, never mind. You log out from your library computer and you come out. You sitting here in your break, of course not now, you're exploring on your phone, on your Instagram, on the first advert that comes to you, you see, oh my God, there's meeting rooms available from £10 an hour. And then you start panicking about this again. Oh my God, till yesterday, I was not even searching about this. But right now, I was speaking with my friends about this, and I told them I'm panicking and I'm not going to study in the library anymore. I'm looking for meeting rooms. As soon as I said that, they started advertising me. So they are listening to my microphone. The truth is, no. You this morning searched about the meeting rooms, and then you accepted the cookies. And you were connected with the same email address that it is connected to your Instagram. So by cookies that you accepted, which didn't obviously read the terms and conditions when you wanted to do that, you allowed them to use your information that you are interested in meeting rooms. And they can understand what are the most valuable things for you because you search cheap. So you're looking for something cost efficiently. And that's how they target you. So I've got a question that if we know this, why is this so acceptable and why is this so normalized? The reason I ask this is because when I'm invited to speak in different conferences or different events or even different universities, I talk about marketing, I talk about entrepreneurship, and I'm mainly talking about business. But there is a big part of it which is ethics, and it's about privacy, which is really important. Because it's beyond business and money, it's about humanity, okay? And I can see genuinely that elderly people are so passionate about this topic. But when it comes to university students, they seem not that passionate about it. And I always had this question. So my team did a research. Interestingly, all the information that it is out there about privacy, over 85% of them are produced from the people who were born from 1980s or before. So, interestingly, there is a link there. And I was always thinking, why is this the case? So we started interviewing different people. And we realized what is the case. The case is because we are used to being grown up and raised with the internet, and any homework, any assignment, anything that we wanted, we were just one step away from Google, and everything was so open source and transparent. We were kind of okay with the fact that our information would be transparent as well. So, marketers have 4 steps in order to change or influence you. They can change your mood, they can change your behavior, they can change your habits, and the biggest challenge for any marketer out there is to change your mindset. So in order to change your mood, this is pretty much the easiest thing. Every video on TikTok can change your mood. So in order to change someone's mood, you only need a few seconds, and it's the easiest thing. But if you want to change someone's behavior, you only don't need emotion, you need some facts, you need some figures, you need some more than just emotion. And in order to make that behavior into a habit, you need to make those proofs and those results consistent. And if it's not consistent, this may not lead into a habit, and it might just stuck and stop at the behavior stage. So once you change someone's mood, you change someone's behavior, and you make them consistent, and that was remaining in the habits, then you try to make it even more and further. You bombard them with the personalized content to take them and change their mindsets. This is so difficult. They might be able to change some tiny people's mindsets, but not the general perception of the society, because that would be so difficult or technically impossible. But I am going to reveal the secret tonight. I'm going to tell you how they do this. There is a simple secret sauce behind it. So the secret that they do is they don't target everyone equally. So what does that mean? Let's say there is a social movement going on, or there is a political election, or there is a change in the law, or there is something beyond just sales and business, something that would matter for millions and millions of people. So what they do is they collect a country, let's say United States, okay? They will divide it into all small fences, geolocation fences. And then they would understand which people are the most easiest people to change their minds. The people who usually have the higher click rates, so the one who see every advert and they click on it, or most likely they buy from it, or the people who are most likely to change their sites are actually really understandable from their behavior on social media. And Facebook has that information. And many other companies also have that information. So they are called the people who change their sites, change their beliefs, and change their opinions much quicker than the others. We call them the persuadables. So let's say there is an election going on in a country, and this is a town with, let's say, 100,000 people, which 60,000 of them are able to vote. And then this is a very competitive town for that country, and therefore they will target the people who know they are going to be the persuadables. Why are they going to target them and not the whole society? Because they know that's going to take so much time and not a great return of investment. So they look at the ROI, and the people who are the persuadables have the highest return of investment. So with the lowest budget in advertisement, they can change their site. So what that happens is they will produce the data. The data will be then used just like a boomerang. You produce the data goes there, they analyze your data, and then they market you back with some personalized messages. This is the dangerous part of it. You produce the data. You give them your data, and then it's going to be used against you, just like the boomerang. So what happens is they will find the persuadables, they will then bombard them with some personalized content, personalized messages in order to change their perspective. So what happens is over the time, they will turn from yellow to red. So this is the concept. They do this with not only one town, but in fact, all the different towns that they would find it competitive. So they will focus on a state, for example, to change the perceptions, and therefore, as a result, the whole state will change from yellow into red. And again, this is not only about one state. If they want to win in a social movement, in a political movement, or anything that is beyond just sales, they would do that with the whole country. And eventually, the whole country will turn into red. And then, why is this dangerous? Or why is this even something we should care about? And what is this something we need to actually know about? So, this will become more dangerous for many different reasons, because right now, the information that you have out there is just basically some data that it's been used. And there are many different ways that they are allocating the data. But there will come a day that AI will integrate into it. So they would also know your emotions as well as your data into it. And that would be so more dangerous. But it will come even more dangerous when you realize this platform can be no longer about sales. It can be about politics. It can be about social movements. It can be about changing the law. So what happens is you can see the society changing perception without you realizing it. So where is your data that is in Facebook? Or where is your data that is being used in Apple Store? Or where is your data that's being used on Google? We don't know. Pretty much no one knows. So there is a difficult part about this, which I think it's even more dangerous, which is when you talk about this, it's no longer about who puts the truthful, correct, the beneficial, and the right content out there. It's just a bidding game. It is just about bidding. So if you have ever done advertisements on Google, on Bing, on Yahoo, on any of these platforms, you know this is how it works. You say, I pay £2, I want to be the first link. Someone else comes, I pay £2.20. They will become the first link, you will become second. Someone else comes, £3, you will become third link. So eventually they don't see who is providing the best content, or if the content is even true, if the content is going to benefit the society. So it's just going to be about money. So it comes to a point that only the people with the highest amount of wealth have the highest amount of power and manipulation towards the society. What that means is, it wouldn't be us who can change the results of the election. It wouldn't be us who can inform the world about global warming. Because why? The people with the highest wealth can determine what we think about global warming. The people with the highest amount of wealth can determine what we think about coronavirus. The people with the most amount of wealth can most likely determine what will be the result of the election next time. So, what is it that I'm talking about? And how is that related to Ctrl-Alt-Delete? It's really relevant when you realize there is so much information that it is interconnected with your information. And you should realize that the data you put out there, it's somehow used against you. And this is dangerous. And we need to stop this. Why? Because it will come to a point where we're going to have a very dangerous element for ourselves or for even our children. That they might not be able to have a truthful election, truthful movement, or even the right information and the truthful results and the news that is happening around the world. So we need to raise the awareness, we need to educate ourselves about privacy, and most importantly, we should try to avoid putting too much data. And when our data is being used against us, we need to have some reflection and some reactions. Otherwise, we do not know how this will going to end. Thank you very much for listening, and it was an honor to be here. Thank you so much.